strong. You see them boasting every day that they were able to vote out Mututho and others. If you allow them to get stronger, they'll come and elect their own president. This is the truth. Haiti question, you know Haiti? They started like this, but soon they were too strong. So we got here because of defiance. People did not just want to follow the law. And the people who were appointed at Nacada that time, the two chairmen I know of, the one who came after me, just sat there, had tea and coffee and biscuits, and that was it. So the government, trusting that things are working out fine, ended up being disastrous. That's the position.
So you're saying there have been cartels that have totally destroyed what you left?
Sure. They have not destroyed. They have attempted to destroy. But fortunately, there is Professor Kindiki, and there is also Deputy President Gachagua. There is, of course, the President. Those are strong men in their own way. I support them 100%. They have come on to look at what was Mututho saying. And now they are following the rules by the book. If you are a manufacturer of this thing you cheat people you are selling here, brandy, for instance, just prove that you have a factory that meets all the standards, all the national standards for the brandy, and then you sell your product. And you are paying your taxes regularly. Hakuna shida pale. If you are selling vodka, and there are several steps before you come to vodka, just prove to the government you are producing vodka, is hygienic, it is true vodka, but don't sell a flavor of dirty rum and call it vodka, calling it dry gin, calling it brandy. Don't do it like that. The government is not in a business of licensing killers. And all killers belong to jail as per our constitution. There is no one who is above the law. So if you are manufacturing poison, and I'm saying poison in Kenya results from people consuming methanol, not ethanol, or dirty ethanol. So if you are selling methanol by any name, calling it brandy, calling it vodka, calling it whatever you want to call, calling it meat in dawa, calling it muratina, and it's methanol, that is poison. You are a manufacturer of poison that kills people, approximately 100,000 per year. You belong to jail. And I'm sure even when your time comes, Satan is waiting for you up there. You cannot be allowed to continue doing this. If you are a retailer and you own a bar that dispenses that poison, you are also to blame. You are the final user of that product. So wewe, mambo yako ni hiyo. Kwisha. Let's not fight the police, fight the chiefs and other people. Let's fight the source. Where are you getting this poison from? The chiefs don't have the capacity to identify the difference between whiskey, between dry gin, vodka, brandy, and all these other things, wines of all types and colors. They don't have that capacity. However, they can still do what they used to do in 1920s, 1910s, 1980s, going to pour what Mama Pima is doing. But there is no difference between some of these big people you say are producing alcohol with big industries and Mama Pima. In fact, Mama Pima is more advanced because he's producing. The ones you are seeing and which are being banned are actually blenders. They blend. They take industrial alcohol, they flavor, dilute, then flavor to what they want to do. That's all they do. They are not really distillers.
And what would be your take in regards to the new liquor license?
The new licensing regime was well defined in the Mututho laws. If you take an example which is very familiar with you, this is something to do with pharmacy. Anybody who wants to open up a pharmacy or to run a pharmacy, and there are several, the first step you do is go to Pharmacy and Poisons Board. In our case, alcohol go to Nacada. If they give you a letter satisfying that the site is good, you have a connection to get the right product, that you have traceability in whatever product you are going to get, we set up all those regulations at Nacada when I was the chairman. Then the county government now can go ahead and issue licenses. But county government, for your sake, because you are going to be sued, you get broke before you even get rich. Just wait and get a letter from Nacada or any other agency appointed by the government to show that these premises and the people dispensing are fit and able to do alcohol, just like pharmaceutical preparations. But if in the business of selling poison, then nobody can protect you. What you should prepare are big suits, particularly this bar owners association. Prepare for big suits. You end up being poorer than than mice in a desert. It's not funny. People are dying, over 100,000 in a year. And this government needs support. This government should be supported with everything. You people in the media, you have been the forefront talking about this thing. I'm not going to support anybody manufacturing poison and calling it alcohol for the sake of profit or for the sake of marginalization of a particular group. Whether you are Mama Pima, whether you are a big industry, a dog by any other name is a dog. If you are manufacturing methanol, you are a killer. And killers don't belong to the society. Killers belong to jail. And like I've said already, and when they get there in heaven, Satan is waiting for them.
Talk about the return of the Mututho laws. Do you think it's time to go back to these laws, and how can the government incorporate it?
Mututho laws have been there. If you remember the interview of the Chief Justice, he was asked which is the most respectable law that you came across in the course of your duties as a Court of Appeal judge and also as a judge. And in her sober mind, she said the best was Mututho laws. Mututho law is still there. It has not been repealed. What has happened is that the cartels are so strong. They have now become too greedy that they want to dare the president. The president who was there and the one who was there before and others who have been there are all different in definition. This one is combative. You can't dare this one. Utaumwa. So you do proper manufacturing. Mututho law is there. If you don't want Mututho law, go to court and try to repeal it. Or go to parliament and mobilize enough people to repeal it. So the law is there. What is missing with the Mututho law is that the government has not gazetted the regulations out of 4. The first one which they gazetted was access to alcohol. This is the one that gave Masaya Mututho, and how we wish people could have followed that one. In actual fact, it should have been people take alcohol between 5 and 9 p.m. when the nyumbani. After all, what are you doing after 11 there with your alcohols there? Except weekends. Now, there was about the children. How do you feel as parents, seeing your youngsters, what they are doing now? 2, the alcohol we have today is laced with serious chemicals like fentanyl. Fentanyl is a killer drug. You find somebody is drunk, and when he holds a position, kama alikuwa amekaa hivi anasimama tu hivyo for a very long time, that's fentanyl. The second set of regulation was to do with the treatment and rehabilitation. I ran a very big rehab here in Nakuru called JOMEC, John Mututho Empowerment Center. There are ethics to be considered. There are observations. And to me, what I'm telling you here, any rehab that cannot turn around 35% success should not be licensed. Why should you license him? Just to come and take people's money for nothing. Treatment is possible for somebody who is an addict, but you must follow certain protocols. You must display certain protocols. We're in partnership at JOMEC with a group in India that treats 150,000 people daily, and they have 247 rehabs. Treatment is serious for addicts. The other regulation, I've already mentioned access. Now I'm talking about treatment. The other one was supposed to be published was enforcement. Have a special force that is well tuned to come and do alcohol surveillance. Not so that we don't have a problem we have with traffic officers now. The final one, this which I'm talking about enforcement. The final one, which you all need to know. I've already spoken about access. I've spoken about. So there are 4 regulations which are supposed to have originated from Mututho laws. So Professor Kidiki should just go straight to them. If he has difficulties in tracing them, because I gave Professor Saitoti the same, all the people who have come except Professor Kidiki have been given those regulations. Then I can always give him my copy, and then he looks at it. But everything is supposed to be orderly. Everything is supposed to be safe.